This country enjoys some of the most varied and the most breathtaking scenery in the world. From highlands to lowlands, from borderlands to lakelands. I'm determined to explore them all. But there's more than that. My mission, if I choose to accept it, is to take on a challenge left for me by an unseen hand. Catch a dragon. Easy. Each of those challenges will force me to get under the skin of wherever I am, however demanding they are. Whoa! Today, I'm in the Suffolk and Essex estuaries, one of the most fascinating and diverse waterlogged landscapes in Britain. I'm starting my journey amongst the boathouse community of Pin Mill in Suffolk. Pin Mill is on the southern shore of the long, winding River Orwell inlet, which stretches almost 10 miles from Ipswich to the sea. What a fantastic smell. Rotting seaweed and dank mud. I'm here in what are, in effect, the British mudlands, where the sea meets the land, sometimes can't make up its mind which is which. I'm off to the local pub for a spot of breakfast. Essentially, this is the English Delta, like the Louisiana Delta, but a few less trees. And I'm going to explore this fascinating, sometimes quite remote area. Right.
Cappuccino?
Thank you very much. Do you know what a Colchester note is?
To be honest, I've never heard of that before, so I don't quite know.
Somebody who lives in Colchester, it sounds like, doesn't it?
Yeah, I reckon.
OK. Thank you. Sorry, thanks very much.
Okay. You're welcome.
Whatever a Colchester native is, finding one is likely to take me on a journey of up to 25 miles. From the estuary of the River Orwell in Suffolk, where I am now, then over the estuary of the River Stour, and onwards to the ancient town of Colchester in Essex. In this kind of landscape, you either cross a lot of water or take a very long detour. So I'm going to need help along the way. I could be in luck. Here, on the other side of the peninsula, where there are naval personnel, there might be boats to get me across the river. But these sailors look young enough to be my grandchildren. I appear to have walked into what looks like a rather dainty, oldie-worldy village, but in fact, it's a school with a long, strong naval tradition. Lieutenant Commander Nigel Griffiths takes me through the building. This is the main reception. The Royal Hospital School was established more than 300 years ago in Greenwich, with the express aim of preparing the sons of British seafarers for a career in the Navy. Nowadays, the remit has widened. Members of the opposite sex have been introduced, and the school has moved to Holbrook and overlooks the broad River Stour, 5 miles south of where I started. And that's Essex on the far side. But quite a barrier to getting south. And this is your parade ground.
It is my parade ground, yeah. We quite often take 680 children on here, dressed in #1 naval uniform. In fact, Griff, we might even have one for you that you could fit into.
A naval uniform for me?
A full naval uniform.
Will
Collar, big trousers,
right.
Jacket.
And what about
I think you'd look great in a naval uniform.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
think my wife probably thinks that as well. Yeah, I should think, yeah. There we are. How do I look? Up there. I've worn these bell-bottoms for 40 years. They never suited me then either. Hi, can somebody... Morning, everybody. I'm sorry, let me just doff my cap. I'm stuck. I don't know how to put these bits on. Thank you. Go on.
Put this over your head. There we go.
You. Do I get a nice white belt as well?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I'm quite presentable now.
Good. What about the hat?
A gidge.
A gidge?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, now I wear my gidge.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to wear it at a sort of jaunty angle like that?
Straight.
No, absolutely straight.
Yeah, and then you need the eye
Yes.
in the middle, is it? So.
Thank you, Izzy. Is that just about right?
We'll go with it.
I have one question to ask anybody. Does anybody know what a Colchester native is?
No.
Colchester native? No, nobody, any idea at all? What? Beg your pardon?
It's an oyster.
It's an oyster.
Yeah.
Does it give you any more information there?
Well, it does.
I don't know whether this is cheating or ingenuity, but I'm saying it's ingenuity. Sorry.
What's going on?
Nothing. I was just trying to find out about... am I looking all right, sir?
Let me see. Put your cap on. You'll do.
Right.
Shall we go?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
There are 700 students here at any one time, from the ages of 11 through to 18. And some of them may go on to join the Navy. But a little drill never hurt anybody. This is called square bashing. And that's because we're in a square.
Squad! Squad, change! Squad, fire the right! Quick!
It's all coming back to me from Strictly Come Cadet Force. But as soon as I get back in the old routine, I begin to get, well, a little creative. In spite of my performance on the parade ground, Nigel has offered to give me a lift. The easiest way to cross the River Stour, apart from swimming, is to take the ferry at Shotley, on the northern tip of the river mouth. And I'm late. Oh. Look at that. Just in time. The two rivers, the Orwell and the Stour, meet here. The result is a vast double river mouth that has provided a safe harbour for at least 3 major ports down the centuries, the most recent of which is right behind me. That's the container port of Felixstowe. It handles 42% of everything that comes into Britain by container. More than 4,000 ships dock here every year, and these include the largest container vessels in the world. Some of them are around 1/4 of a mile long. This is Essex, and this is the only way to get there. Harwich, on the southern tip of the Stour's river mouth, is one of the oldest seafaring ports in the country. It was home to a man who took the very first pilgrims to America back in 1620. Nearly 400 years later, the shipbuilders of Harwich are coming together once again to build a replica of the famous boat that took 132 passengers and crew to the New World. The Mayflower was a typical English merchant ship of the time. Anthony Wilding is in charge of the project. People associate the Mayflower with Plymouth a bit.
Yeah, well, it was his last point that it left before it went across the Atlantic, but it was simply a stop-off point in its journey. The ship was a Harwich ship mastered by a Harwich man, and all of the crew were Harwich people.
And what are you going to use her for, then?
Well, we're going to sail across to America, obviously, in 2020, via Plymouth, and Southampton,
Yes.
Dartmouth, and so forth. Everywhere that the original Mayflower pulled into, we're going to pull into.
What an incredible size it is, though, the Mayflower.
In relative terms, it was a small boat. It's only 106 foot long, so 3 of them would fit onto Roman Abramovich's yacht, for example.
Small boat, but big bulks of timber. They're constructing the ship on the same lines as the original Mayflower 400 years ago. Anything up to 2,000 oak trees will be needed. But I'm relieved to see they're using a modern saw to cut the wood. And that's something I can help out with. A saw like this one can slice through a tree of anything up to 3 feet in diameter in a matter of seconds. Imagine how long this would have taken the Pilgrim Fathers using an adze.
There you are.
Like butter. This plank of wood might even end up on the deck.
Look at that.
Time to move on. I have oysters to find. I've been challenged to find and eat a Colchester native oyster. By crossing the Stour estuary and entering the county of Essex, I'm one step closer. I hope. These muddy estuaries are like a sort of murky soup of life. Because the fresh water comes in and the salt water comes in, it goes up and down, and it mixes in all the green stuff off the land and the green stuff off the sea, and things thrive there. Especially oysters. 1 square metre of estuary mud can contain as many calories as 20 Mars bars. Slimy shorelines like these are actually a massive larder for 300,000 birds and goodness knows how many million shellfish. Somewhere. These curious towers in the village of Mistley, designed by the great 18th century architect Robert Adam, are all that remain of a concerted attempt by a local businessman to transform this humble village into a fashionable spa. One of the health treatments on offer was supposed to be estuary mud baths. I think he thought the mud would be health-giving. I've decided to get some help, but so far all we've found are a motley collection of crustaceans. Is there anybody hiding under there?
Look, there's the one. Look, look, look.
Quite a lot of quite big crabs here, look. Have you ever found an oyster?
No,
Never found an oyster at all?
no. We need to go on holiday to find them.
Do you? Oh, I see. They don't have any oysters around here anymore.
No. Maybe they're in that sea somewhere.
OK, maybe they are. I'll better go and find out. This is a typical Essex foreshore. Far from being avoided, estuary mud is embraced here in Essex, and not always in ways that you'd expect. So every year, here in Manningtree, they have a mud race at the regatta. That's a race across the mud. What tips would you give me?
Jump over the mud.
Jump over the mud.
Miss it. On your marks. Get ready.
There's no easy way to run through mud. The water is fine, but the thick, greasy mud banks tend to suck you down. And the energy required to extract each foot is positively exhausting. Never mind the concentration required just to stay upright. I suspect the locals were born with webbed feet. But I'm glad to see I'm not the last man home. Quite. And the stench is incredible. When you puncture that mud, a great aroma of rotting things comes up. Goo. Did anybody find an oyster? No. Okay. Let me know if you do. If you come far enough up the River Stour, the landscape changes very suddenly and dramatically. We're only 3 miles from the vast, muddy expanse of the estuary, and already the river has become tiny. Not only that, it's become the most famous river scenery in the world. This is the setting for a series of masterpieces by John Constable. This, for example, is where the hay wain was painted. Let me just check my tea towel. Yep, that's it. We'll step right in the middle there. Brilliant. Thanks to Constable and other artists like Thomas Gainsborough and John Nash, Dedham Vale has become the epitome of typical rural bliss. It's more English than England, and yet we're barely 20 miles from the industrial colossus of Felixstowe container port. But now, I must travel further upriver. I've got a bus to catch. A mile on, I arrive in the village of Dedham. It's not just the countryside that's chocolate box perfect. This is the Essex nobody knows. This is Essex the beautiful. I'm getting into a fever of anticipation now as we get closer to our ultimate destination, an encounter with a Colchester native, the most succulent oysters in the world. They're a speciality in Parisian restaurants, they're so revered. Well, here we are, coming into Colchester, Britain's oldest town. The streets are full of Colchester natives, but none I intend to eat. So I've decided to make for the extremely impressive town hall, in the hope that somebody might be able to point me in the right direction. This is clearly a town that's done rather well for itself. I wonder what's in here. Oh, now look here. OK, this is good. Silver oyster gauge. Brass oyster gauge, right there. In the town hall treasures cupboard are little indications of the importance of oysters to Colchester. I've hit the jackpot. The Lady Mayor herself, Teresa Higgins, has kindly offered to get me to the best Colchester natives. And in the mayoral limousine, which apparently doubles up as a funeral car. Is it true that the Romans came here to Colchester partly because of the oysters?
Most definitely, yes, because they enjoy feasting on oysters, they enjoy food, so yes, it was one of the sources of natural food around in the area. But we also know the Romans here bought jars of olive oil, jars of fish paste and wine, so there's quite a collection and feast you can have here.
This is the crucial question for the Mayor of Colchester, I'm afraid. Do you like oysters yourself?
I do, yes.
Interestingly, 47% of the population have never even tried one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I've arrived at the River Colne, the home of the Colchester native oyster. This fishing dredge is operated by the Colchester Oyster Fishery, who supply oysters to such swanky restaurants as the Ritz, La Gavroche and Gordon Ramsay.
We're just heading out now to the oyster grounds. We're going into the shallowest water, the muddiest floor of the river, and we've come down effectively to the mouth of the Colne. And I've never seen anywhere so flat. The tallest thing in front of us is a tree.
A wire net known as a fishing dredge is dragged along the riverbed. Once it's full, it's pulled up on deck. There looks to be a good haul of oysters, but I wonder if they're the right ones. these are not the native oysters.
No, they're not.
They're
No.
foreign oysters.
They are indeed.
When did they come here?
They came in the 1950s from Portugal, originally the Portuguese oyster, to supplement the dwindling stocks of native oysters.
What they call the Colchester native, which is what I'm in search of. That's still quite a rare beast, is it?
It is indeed, yeah. We have small numbers of them, not large quantities. We've moved along about a quarter of a mile to an area which hopefully will find some native oysters.
And we're dredging now to see if this drags up a Colchester native.
Genuine Colchester native.
Okay. And this is the baby. This is the Colchester.
That is a genuine Colchester native oyster.
How do I tell?
Because it's a different species of oyster. It's very flat and very broad, whereas the rock oyster has a slightly deeper cup to it, and it's a slightly different shape. It'll be longer and thinner.
Okay. This is the one I'm after, a Colchester native. Can I eat it?
Sadly not. It's summer months and there's not an hour in a month, and native oysters are only available September through till April. During the summer months they're spawning, producing more oysters, and so as they're protected you're not allowed to eat them until the 1st of September.
No! We've made that struggle to get all the way down here to Mersea, where these things grow and live, and I'm not allowed to eat it. So all I can say, I'm afraid, is shucks. And back to the Essex mud my Colchester native must go.